So over the past few months, I've been going over all of my old art, including my old OCs from 2020, and I came across my old MLP, insert Sona, and OCs that I used to love to draw so much. So today I'm going to redesign my old MLP OCs into a new AU. So first, this is Sketchpad. As I said before, she was originally my insert Soma, where I made her a half unicorn and changeling. The original concept for her, from what I remember, is that she would have had a gem on her chest, just like all of the reformed changelings. However, due to her magic being unicorn and changeling magic, it would be unstable, with one of those things being whatever Sketchpad drew would come to life. If she overused her magic, her gem would turn black and her magic would possess her. Other than giving her a kind of all over the place story, I didn't really know who she was as a character, even though I imagined her as this shy, timid, and older sister, though I never really did anything with it. When drawing her, I honestly wasn't sure what to do with her design, since I already currently like her design. So I only kept what makes sense story-wise, which meant instead of Sketchpad having both unicorn and changeling magic, I gave her a changeling horn and just unicorn magic. Her gem on her chest also no longer turns black upon overuse, nor will it possess her, and she originally had the hard shell on her wings, just like in the show, but they became hard to draw, especially when she looks like she's flying, so she doesn't have them anymore. Lore-wise, I did struggle with Sketchpad because I haven't watched MLP in a long time, though it did used to be my favorite comfort show at one point, and for Sketchpad, I thought it would be a cool idea if she lived in a small town, since we don't know that much about changelings in the show anyways. I'd like to imagine, because she's different, the villagers are paranoid she'll end up hurting someone, so Sketchpad always feels isolated until she just runs away one day, and on her journey of acceptance and self-discovery. While on that journey, she had gotten lost, because this is the first time ever she had left her village. Sketchpad had accidentally found a village full of creatures she didn't know even existed, and stands there in front of her is this pony she swears she's seen before. Ocean Breeze is a character that I didn't have anything in mind, only a small concept, so I ended up doing a full redesign. The intent with her original design was that I wanted to use colors that I don't like and that I never used, but I also wanted them to look good. With this redesign, originally Ocean Breeze was a hippogriff. However, their faces are extremely hard to draw for me, so I ended up changing her design to a quarter hippogriff and a half earth pony, mostly inspired by Moroha from Yashahime. I ended up muting her coat color so that way it doesn't contrast with the brightness of the hair. I also kept the idea of her 3 birthmarks, one on her flank, one on her back hoof, and one on her front arm. I also gave her the necklace that the hippogriffs wear in the show to transform into their sea pony counterparts, though she never uses it due to her fear of the water that is linked to a traumatic event. What it is, I'm not totally sure. Ocean Breeze doesn't like to talk about herself much, because after her mother and father's passing, it was up to her to take care of her sister, so she didn't really care about herself or her needs. So on one day, Ocean Breeze and her sister went on a walk through the town. While she's walking, she opens her eyes to see this pony she remembers from when she was a filly. I like to imagine Ocean Breeze took Sketchpad to her home to try to talk to her in private, while also trying to explain to her really young sister what a unicorn is. She mostly would have dropped her sister off at her neighbor's because her neighbor is like family. Then she took Sketchpad home to assess the situation. Honestly, she probably wouldn't have left home if she didn't think her sister wouldn't be okay with her neighbor. I forgot to mention this earlier, but due to the time setting being in between MLG4, MLPG4, and G5, G4 being in the past and G5 being in the future, in my AU, and my OCs are born somewhere right before Twilight and had sealed up all the equestrian magic. I can't give you a genuine time frame because one, Hasbro themselves didn't even know or care, and two, it's extremely hard trying to make sure my OCs and the characters can stay consistent with both shows and with what I want as well, without feeling cluttered or overwhelming. With that in mind, not everything from both shows will stay the same. Characters may change, look, or act different. Some story beats or lore may also change. Out of the way, let's continue. So unlike Sketchpad and Ocean Breeze, I did nothing for this character other than a really crappy design. He had no name, no story, no nothing. So I threw everything away and started from scratch. For Karma, I wanted someone who was a descendant of Discord, a wild spirit, and have chaos magic as a hobby of theirs, and honestly, I wasn't sure how I was gonna go about this. However, I like the idea that she's a Draconequus and half Earth Pony. Even though she's 6 generations down, I'd like to think the only reason she's not a half-blood or something like that is because the chaos magic is so strong in this type of species, it really doesn't matter. For her body, I ended up giving her hooves in the front and paws in the back, and this squirt's horn as a little nod to her ancestry. For her coat, I wanted her to really stand out against the other two, so I wasn't sure what to pick, though in the end, I did end up picking this really pretty coral color, while also giving her a bit of white on her hooves and paws. As well as for her hair, I originally wanted to keep the messy type of look I tried to do in her original concept, but I didn't care for it, so I ended up changing it. And I gave her a short look instead, and I honestly think it fits her better. As for her cutie mark, I had such a hard time with it. Like I said earlier, I wanted her to have a talent that was far removed from her magic and hobby, though I wasn't sure what it should be, until I ended up watching but never finishing Angel, a spin-off series of Buffy the Vampire Slayer. For the first time, I came across the character Lauren. I won't go too deep or spoil too much of the show, so definitely go and watch it if you haven't. However, Lauren is a demon who can use his powers to read people's futures, their hopes, their dreams, and if something bad's about to happen. The only catch is they have to sing. As I said before, I won't talk about the show too much, but I love Lauren and the way he handles his powers, and it gave me an idea. For her cutie mark, I kind of made it a bit basic by having her spyglass laying on top of the world. I made Karma's cutie mark kind of ambiguous to any pony that looks at it due to her chaotic and unpredictable nature. However, her cutie mark is kind of linked to her magic a bit. What I mean by that is Karma is Twilight's daughter. Ever since she was little, Twilight has been teaching her magic and how to control it. However, because Karma doesn't know she's related to Discord, the only thing that she knows is that there's quote-unquote something wrong with her magic. So she's trying to adapt, and over the years she has tried to manipulate her magic without Twilight knowing, and has accidentally gained the ability to talk to the dead. With the ability, she's trying to help anyone she can without worrying Twilight anymore. However, when two ponies she's never met before enter Ponyville for the first time, Karma is immediately intrigued. Karma brought them to her home at the Castle of Friendship and started asking questions like, who are you? What's your name? And why are you here? As she started listening, she wondered if she could leave, not for herself, but to help her mom. The only thing in this world that she wishes for is to see her mom truly happy. So she agreed to go. But she goes to tell Twilight first. After she agrees, Karma leaves and also starts her new journey with the ponies she hopes to befriend. One thing I forgot to mention earlier is that all of the ages of these girls, they originally were around 14. However, I recently, when scripting this video, I wanted their ages to be around mid-20s, like I am, because I made them and had their ages around the same age mine is. So I wanted to have them grow along with me. So their ages are essentially 25. So yeah. That's it for this video. That isn't everything. As I said before, I have characters from both shows in this AU. Some may look different and act different. However, it will be explained in part 2 because this video was already getting really long and this video was also really hard to script as well. So I hope you enjoy my rambling about my favorite OCs I've ever made, and I'll see you in part 2.